the only planet that cannot be seen through any of the most powerful modern telescopes. Ancient scientists assumed that beneath its dense cloud layer hid stuffy jungles, under the shadow of which lived disgusting creatures, round the clock eating each other. Others contradicted and are sure that on it grow blooming paradise bushes, splashing full-flowing seas and rivers rich in fish, happy, warm, favorable climate. Some science fiction writers imagined a huge ocean, the only one on the entire planet, but modern science has debunked all these hypotheses. So what's this planet hiding, and what is its fate today? Today we'll spend our vacation on our nearest neighbor, Venus. It turned out that this is not a planet of the future life of Earthlings, but a real hell, but about everything in order. The namesake of the ancient Roman goddess of love and beauty, the only planet in the solar system called by a female name, rotates 40 million kilometers from Earth at close positions and is the brightest point in our sky after the moon. Under certain conditions, it can be seen even during the day. This is due to Venus's amazing ability to reflect sunlight, which is facilitated by an 85-kilometer atmospheric coat, 100 times more powerful than Earth's. A year on Venus lasts 225 Earth days, while the revolution around its axis is 243 Earth days. This means that a Venusian day is longer than its own year. The planet rotates in the opposite direction, which becomes similar to Uranus and Pluto, although the inclination of its axis is almost perpendicular to the orbit, unlike these objects, spinning literally lying on its side. The diameter of the planet is very similar to Earth's, but because of its extremely slow rotation, Venus has no magnetic field. Also, its lonely orbital journey is not accompanied by any satellites. The atmosphere of Venus is 96% carbon dioxide and minor impurities of nitrogen, argon and helium, and the clouds are undiluted sulfuric acid. A vacation on Venus will not be forgotten to death by an Earth tourist, but alas, he will not be able to return home. Many probes were sent to our mysterious cloudy neighbor, but many missions were not destined to be realized, although some devices still succeeded and transmitted detailed data, thanks to which the Earthlings learned many Venusian secrets. In order to have a proper rest on Venus, a person should take into account that he cannot do without a special hermetic suit. Unfortunately, on Earth it has not been invented yet, because on Venus at almost 500-degree heat, even lead melts. It is also senseless to take an umbrella with him, because the rains of sulfuric acid will destroy it anyway. Returning to the spacesuit, it should be noted that it must withstand the pressure, which is 92 times higher than the Earth's pressure, that is, as at a kilometer depth of the sea. In general, hypertensive vacation on Venus is categorically not recommended. But the average tourist, curious to look, for example, at the bottom of the Venusian Canyon of Diana, should also be careful, because the pressure there is 119 times higher than on Earth. Do not escape the monstrous load, even on the 11-kilometer peaks of Venus. There the pressure is 45 bar. That is 45 times more than we're used to. It's very windy on Venus. That's not an exaggeration. The legendary Mary Poppins would hardly like the Venusian breeze. At 60-kilometer altitude in the clouds, blowing winds that reach 400 kilometers per hour. But above the surface, it's no easier. Walking for the last time on the vast expanse of the second planet from the Sun, you would feel like a boxing machine. This effect is possible because Venus's atmosphere is only 14 times less dense than water, and a wind of even 1 kilometer per second feels like a powerful punch from a professional heavyweight kickboxer. Although it is very hot on Venus, a traveler would only see a hazy haze similar to an overcast Earth day. If a tourist wants a cooler temperature, one can climb the mountain peaks and enjoy 400 degrees instead of the usual 500. An earthling sitting on a rock for the last time will see the Venusian sunset, which, by the way, is observed where the dawn should be, and hear the dead silence, interrupted by violent gusts of wind and the characteristic sounds of mixing sulfuric acid with the miserable remains of water. The mountains on Venus are very large, up to 100 kilometers across. Many of them look like giant pancakes, mostly volcanoes, whose lava forms such bizarre shapes. The last thing a failed tourist realizes is the following sad thought. He is dying on a planet far from Earth, which alone will continue his journey for billions of years after the unfortunate one is melted by caustic acid, crushed by enormous pressure, and all of it scattered by a monstrous wind. Fortunately, these are our fantasies based on real facts. But who knows, maybe the technical possibilities will allow distant descendants to successfully spend vacations on the planets of the solar system, and spacewalks will become something commonplace. Therefore, we forget to watch the previous, no less exciting releases, furrow virtual journey through the planets and their satellites with the channel Hubble, and evaluate our labors with huge likes or dislikes we improve for you. Bon voyage!